Here's some music.
Which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First step. You might be unaware, but not everyone who was invited is here in the auditorium tonight. The same is true in schools across the country. Actually, back when I was your age, there was not a two-step process to induction, or to invitation and then selection. It used to be that your grades alone got you into National Honor Society. That was in the day when things were less competitive and fewer students went to college. So if you earned a high enough GPA, like I did, then that was good enough to gain you entrance into this esteemed organization. But that is not the case anymore. Now, the three additional NHS components of leadership, service, and character that were emphasized to us once we became members years ago are no longer the end products of membership, but rather they are the criteria for entrance. Each component is somewhat daunting by itself, but they are truly intimidating when taken en masse. In fact, at every high school I've ever worked at, some qualified students look at the NHS application packet and recognize that they just don't match up to the organization's expectation of what a member should be at that juncture in their high school. They simply don't apply. Others apply yet aren't granted membership, for they fail to fulfill the leadership, service, or character requirements. For you who are being honored here tonight, you have excelled or have begun to show promise and impressive promise in all of these areas. So let's take a minute to look at all of these three qualifications, starting first with leadership. Leadership doesn't always mean you're the president of a club or you're picked to be the spokesman for a group project. No, leadership can be far more subtle than that. It can be a quiet endeavor without fanfare or bright lights. Leadership can be a quiet act of kindness or bravery. Whether highly visible or barely noticeable, leadership always requires stepping up. You need to have the moral courage to do something that others just don't think of doing, don't dare to do, or aren't willing to sacrifice the time or energy to do. As your principal, on behalf of the school, I thank you for your willingness to be a leader. Service is the second characteristic you demonstrated to gain access to the chair you have on the stage tonight. You have distinguished yourself as a person who looks beyond your personal needs and fulfillment, who recognizes the critical importance of serving others, and who leads others in the charge to positively impact our school, our community, and our world. To truly serve is to put the needs of others in front of your own needs, even if no one else knows you're doing it. And I'd like to pause here and say that a lot of people think adolescents don't do that. They think they're self-centered and self-serving. And you on the stage here demonstrate the opposite of that. You do serve others, and I thank you for being a person of service. Of all of this, what is most impressive to us is the fact that you were judged so highly in terms of your character, the final qualification for NHS. When you pause to think about it, this might be the first time in your life that you've seen such a direct connection between how your character is viewed by others and an accomplishment you achieved. It might have been somewhat of a scary experience to think about a school full of staff members reading your name on a long list alongside those of your peers and making a judgment call about your character. You probably wondered how the adults in the world of this school really do view you. Do your current and former teachers, sponsors, and coaches see you as a person who upholds ethical principles, who treats others with the dignity and the respect they deserve? Are your intentions understood as being genuine and productive? Are you thought of as an honest person, one who doesn't cheat or take the easy way out? Are you viewed as a person of integrity, someone who holds true to your values regardless of who is watching you or who is paying attention to you? Well, now you know your character is in fact viewed favorably by the adults here at RB. Congratulations on that huge accomplishment. My hope is that this becomes an important lesson for each of you. While this might be the first time in your life that you've seen the direct comparison or connection between how your character is viewed by others and an achievement, it certainly won't be the last time in your life that this will happen. So don't get too comfortable. Your character isn't static. It isn't something you cross off your list as having mastered or completed. Quite the contrary. You build your character each and every day with the decisions you make. By its essence, your character is amorphous, ever-changing. It is frequently under assault, being challenged by tough choices and moral dilemmas. Throughout your life, you will be judged on your character, perhaps not in such a structured, formal way, but how people view your character and how you live out your values will translate broadly into your reputation and specifically into the opportunities people will afford you socially and professionally. As you soon will learn, in order for you to remain a member of National Honor Society, this esteemed organization in our school will continue to require you to uphold the 6 pillars of character counts: trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. So it is critically important for you to build on the solid work you have done thus far in your life with your character and continue to make good and ethical decisions. I'm going to share a story with you I heard many years ago. It made a strong impression on me then, and it still holds its power for me now. Each year I share it because not only do I feel it's fitting for the ceremony today, and I really want you to listen to it and take it into your life as well, but it serves for me as an annual reminder of what is really very important in my life. So bear with me. I hope you enjoy the story. Commander Charles Plum, a U.S. Naval Academy graduate, was a jet fighter pilot in Vietnam. After 75 combat missions, 75 combat missions, I mean, just thinking of that blows me away. He was hit, his plane was hit and destroyed by a surface-to-air missile. Commander Plum ejected and parachuted into enemy hands. He was captured and spent 6 years. Think how old you were 6 years ago. He spent 6 years in a communist Vietnamese prison. He survived the ordeal and now lectures on lessons he learned from that experience. One day, when Plum and his wife were sitting in a restaurant in Kansas City, a man about 2 tables away kept looking at him. Commander Plum didn't recognize him. Eventually, the man stood up and walked over to his table, which surprised Captain Plum. He pointed his finger in his face and he said, "You're Captain Plum. You flew jet fighters in Vietnam from the aircraft carrier, the Kitty Hawk. You were shot down and parachuted into enemy hands." He said, "How in the world did you know that about me?" Commander Plum asked. The man replied, "Because I packed your parachute." Commander Plum gasped in surprise and staggered to his feet and held out a very grateful hand of thanks. The man shook his hand and said, "I guess it worked," with a smile. Commander Plum assured him, "It sure did. If your chute hadn't have worked, I wouldn't be here today." "Let me ask you a question," Commander Plum said. "Do you keep track of all the parachutes you pack?" "No," he responded. "It's enough gratification for me to know that I served." Commander Plum couldn't sleep that night thinking about that man. He said, "I kept wondering what he might have looked like in that Navy uniform. A Dixie cup hat, a bib in the back, and bell-bottom trousers. I wondered how many times I might have passed him on board the Kitty Hawk, not paying him any attention. I wondered how many times I might have seen him and not even have said, 'Good morning, how are you?' or anything, because you see, I was a big fighter pilot, and he was just a sailor." Commander Plum thought of the many hours that sailor had spent on the long wooden table in the bowels of that ship, weaving the shrouds and folding the silks of each chute, holding in his hand each time the life of someone he didn't know. Now, when Commander Plum speaks to audiences, he always asks, "Who packs your parachute?" Everyone has someone who provides what they need to make it through the day. Commander Plum makes sure to point out to people that he needed many kinds of parachutes when his plane was shot down over enemy territory. He needed his physical parachute, his mental parachute, his emotional parachute, and his spiritual parachute. He called on all of these supports before reaching safety. Personally, I like this story because Commander Plum's experience is a powerful reminder to all of us to be thankful for those people in our lives who help contribute to our success and literally to our survival. Who are the special people in your life, I'm asking you, as you sit there in that chair, who are the special people in your life that provide you with the encouragement you need at times when they get challenging, when your tests and your projects are mounting up, when your friends, maybe even your family members have let you down? Who pushes you to be the absolute best person you can be? Who won't let you get off the hook, taking the easy way out? Who makes you defend your ideas, explain your reasoning? Who makes you the best person you are? My guess is some of those people are here in the auditorium with you tonight to celebrate your accomplishment, and my guess is some of them are sitting on the stage right here with you. They are the people who make you be your personal and ethical best. They pack your parachute. But the magic of Commander Plum's story for me is there might be some people around us who help improve the quality of our lives, and they might be people we've never really stopped and taken much notice of before. Are you able and open to recognizing the gifts and contributions of those people too? Ever since I heard this story, and I was a little bit older than you when I first heard it, I've taken notice of the quiet, strong individuals around me that I encounter often daily who, like the modest sailor, have improved my life by providing some service for me. My life has been richer since I keyed into these wonderful people whom I'm now in the habit of personally thanking for their kindness, their contributions, and their care. Pay attention, they're all around you too. As you walk through life, you may recognize all of the people. May you recognize all of the people who pack your parachute. And then here's the key. Take time tonight, take time in the future to thank people. Your life will be richer for it too, of that I'm certain. So in conclusion, while tonight is about recognition and reward, you will soon discover that your National Honor Society membership has expectations attached to it as well. You have been selected because you've demonstrated competence and heart, along with the promise of future accomplishments. It is your potential that we most highly value. I extend my deepest congratulations to each of you and to your families, and I thank you for being here tonight.
On behalf of the Elizabeth Niederberger chapter of the National Honor Society, I am happy to welcome you. But this society looks upon education as a total product of all these diversified abilities. Throughout history, man has recognized the one who excelled and in some manner has honored him. Ancient and medieval universities established honor societies. In modern times, Phi Beta Kappa stands for superiority in scholarship. Your election to the society marks attainments you have already made and promises continued excellence in the ideals of our school. The Constitution of the Society recognizes 4 main objectives: scholarship, leadership, service, and character. The significance of each will be later explained to you. You may notice we have some guests on our stage, and they are current members of the Riverside Brookfield.
On my honor, as a member of the Elizabeth Niederberger chapter of the National Honor Society, I will do my best to uphold the ideals of character, scholarship, leadership, and service. I will be fair and square in my dealings with all. I will serve without thoughts of personal glory.
Catherine Alex, Brookfield Zoo Youth Volunteer Corps. Danielle Anderson, volleyball. Claire Bullnow, volunteering at the Scottish Home. Gabriella Bova, Model UN. Benjamin Broados, church usher. Paige Brown, tutoring a young child in English. Alexander Buffo, marching band, Gay Straight Alliance. Kelly Clinton, badminton. Stars and Stripes. Connor Culloden, choir. Daniel Curtin, J. Kyle Braid, leadership. Michael Gamitro, spring musical. Nicholas Green, conflict resolution team. Kelly Hoagland, St. Bernard Parish Project. Carolina Hodorek, Best Buddies. Lauren Kreis, Erica's Lighthouse. Vitas Kolbus. Vitas, come say it properly for me.
Vitas Kolbus. Okay, Atsetinka Youth Club.
Thank you. Amanda Lellabelle, volleyball. John Magos, Boy Scouts. Buddies. Emily Michael, swim team. Alexander Muntean, tennis. Ashley Murphy, softball. Erica's Lighthouse. Olivia Novak, Best Buddies. Abraham Orv, Shenanigans Improv. Rachel Pavlikovic, swim team. Joseph Rogers, Scholastic Bowl. Erica Rosas Lopez, YB breast cancer race. Rebecca Rusecki, Student Association. David Sauer, J. Kyle Braid leadership. Isabella Saluri, Model UN. Timothy Summers, swimming. Colin Spenti, conflict resolution team. Buddies.